There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on.
When you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.
Good luck.
We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of us, little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
The Force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
Hello there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Ahsoka's weekly mission, where we do spoiler-heavy discussions about the latest episodes of Ahsoka, which is currently streaming on Disney+. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture. I am not alone in this journey into a galaxy far, far away. I am very excited to have these two wonderful guests here with us. Joining us here first, please welcome Jen to the stage. Jen, welcome. How are you?
I am doing really well. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing quite well. It is great to have you here. And also here with us is, my goodness, this name was dropped in a certain episode. This name has been around for over 15 years, but she is here. She does exist. She's in the flesh. Please welcome Snips herself. Christie is in the building. Hello, Snips.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are so grateful to have both of you here with us. Now, if you have any thoughts about these past few episodes of Ahsoka that is currently streaming on Disney+, this is a spoiler-heavy discussion. You've been warned twice. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Our producers are going to be monitoring it as we go throughout the course of this broadcast. And don't forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends, because they're going to like the way they look after watching or listening to this episode of Ahsoka's weekly mission. I guarantee it. With that being said, I got to ask right off the bat, hey, Snips, Christie, I got to ask you, what are the positives for you that have stood out in these last two episodes known as, I believe it was Toil and Trouble and Fallen Jedi? What are the positives that have stood out to you in those two?
Episode 3, I got to say, the first 2 episodes, Ahsoka was very, stoic. And I understand why, but I still missed, the old Ahsoka. I know she's changed, but I felt like episode 3 we finally got her back, so that really made me happy. And I also loved the way that she described the Force with Sabine. It kind of just made a lot of sense in why she's training Sabine, especially since Sabine didn't have the Force in Rebels, so it tied all the questions together. And then episode 4 that just came out yesterday was just amazing. The lightsaber fights, all of them, I love them. Bolin and Ahsoka fighting in the little dome with the map. That was amazing as heck. More Sabine action. I was just very invested in the whole episode. Lots of action. And then take away the characters in the scene. The world between worlds looked gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And then you have Hayden pop up. I think that's enough said.
I don't know how I can possibly follow that up, but Jen's gonna try. Jen, what were the positives for you that stood out in episodes 3 and 4, known as Toil and Trouble and Fallen Jedi?
Oh man, there's so many positives. I really enjoyed the training between Sabine and Ahsoka, and we can actually see the stylization of, different Jedi and how there's different styles in within the training in that order. So the fact that we get to see it, and then with Hu Yang, who has been in this this life for however many years he's been around. So just to have his perspective, but then Ahsoka's perspective and the banter between them. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm enjoying the pacing. I love a lot of the throwbacks to the originals, and then of course the connections to Rebels. I have a lot to say. I really enjoyed Fallen Jedi. This was such a good episode. The intensity, and I think one of the things I'm enjoying most, similar to my first comment about the training, is seeing Balin's style against Ahsoka's, because it's just something that captured my attention from episode 1, just his style and how he wields the lightsaber, how he uses the Force, the way he maneuvers. I was so excited about that, and of course, I cried. Very good stuff.
We tell you it's a thing of beauty. Sorry, wow, I'm getting all kinds of messages here. So Pinnacle AI, that's Charles, our friend Charles, says, "Hey Ryan, Charles, good to see you, man. How things are going for you over there at Pinnacle AI? Hope things are going well for that business." And then Yassi Sufi, I hope I'm saying that right. They ask, how good does it feel to put your trust within a show and it pays off this beautifully, Christie?
Okay, I always had trust in the shows. People were so worried about it going into live action.
I know.
No, honestly, yeah, like if Dave's working on the show, I feel like it might have been some differences in animation, but like Dave is the one that created these characters. He's been with them so long. So like I always kind of had that trust, and like it's just fun to see it now.
And Jen, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me as a fan, I've always trusted the writers, because my perspective is, even with George, this is to what Chrissy just said. This is their characters. This is their world, their universe that they have birthed from imagination. So the way they choose to take the characters and the storyline it's theirs, and I have to trust what they think makes sense to them will translate well to me. And for me, it has. I mean, yeah, we can talk about theories and go into headcanon, if you will, but I think as fans, we have to still be respectful of what's being done by the original creators and the artistry that comes with it. I've enjoyed every show. I've enjoyed the way they've developed the characters, the arcs of all the characters. I mean, into what you said, Christy, with Ahsoka, one of the things we have to remember with Ahsoka, similar with Obi-Wan, they have been through so much and they have lost so much. How would you stay the same that you were prior to all those events? It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's absolutely a fair point. And Yassi goes on to say, "Hey, Ryan, it's Yassi from Clubhouse." Oh, yeah! Yassi! Oh, my gosh!
Hey, sis!
Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. And if anyone else has any comments about these episodes, please, by all means, drop those comments like it's hot in the chat of the comments. Now, as far as how does it feel to put your trust within a show and have it pay off this beautifully? Well, here's the thing. Trailers can be one thing. The finished product can be another. We've seen great trailers for trashy films. We've seen trashy trailers for great films. We've seen both sides of the spectrum here when it comes to marketing. And this trailer for Ahsoka, I'm talking about the first one, the very first one that came out. I think it was during Star Wars Celebration is when they dropped it, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Okay, so I am right about that. Okay, cool. Good thing I don't have my facts mixed up. That trailer was lit. That trailer was hot. That trailer dropped some familiar elements, but at the same time, it was telling us, yeah, these are characters you're familiar with, but this is like a whole different set of cards that they're dealing with because they've been through so much trauma, so much war, so much blood, sweat, tears, and then the droid, played beautifully by David Tennant, says, "Well, perhaps it's time to begin again. It's a new beginning. Let's do it again. Let's start fresh." And that's what this series is to a degree. And Dave Filoni has been running the Star Wars series since they first started dropping like flies on Disney Plus, in a good way, by the way, not bad. And Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, they're so money. They're so money, they just don't even know it. It's like a big bear, man. So Dave Filoni knows what the frack he's doing. I think he's known pretty much since day one. So, I got no problem with it. And then Yassi's giving us some laughing and smiling emojis. I don't know what that means, but thanks for laughing and smiling at us. And then she also says, "I heart." Is that "I heart"? I don't know. But hey, we dig the emojis here, Yassi. If you got anything else to say, let us know. But good Lord, we're having too much fun. So for me, positives, that's where we were. Yes, positives that stood out for episodes 3 and 4. I like the rule of 2, no more. no less. Master and an apprentice. We're getting to see both sides of the coin here. And by the way, Ray Stevenson.
Ah, brilliant man.
It's so sad that we lost this talent, because the way he's playing this character is so good. It's like, yeah, he's playing for this team, but at the same time, he's not 100% sure he's doing the right thing, right?
I had a moment in the show when I was, especially watching episode 4, I had a moment where I began to say, oh man, I really hope they do a spin-off. Wait, they can't.
I don't think they can.
No.
Maybe, I don't know.
I had a moment where, I'm a big Ray Stevenson fan. I remember the first film I ever saw with him. It was just captivated by his performance as an artist. And when I found out he was going to be in Star Wars again as a different character, but live action, over the moon excited. And the way he is just portraying this character has, like I said before, I'm really enjoying it. I'm so intrigued with the storyline of him. And I wish we could have gotten a spin-off series to learn about him and what he's been through. They had a lot of good substance there.
Well, there's always room for a book. I mean, Christie likes books. She reads 50 of them a day. So, I mean,
I would love to have a book on him. I was like talking about this. Because like he's very similar to Ahsoka. They both had to survive Order 66. They both went separate ways, and both of them are no longer Jedi, but hold on to those ideals of Jedi quite strong for being two people that don't want to be attached to the Order per se.
They found a new way to live with the Force that makes sense to them. And it's going to be interesting as we get newer content, especially the films that were announced at Celebration, like the beginning of the Force and what the original intent was for Force users that could be trained.
So exciting.
Can you tell we're excited? Anyway, as far as the positives go, Balin's performance, Ray Stevenson, it's like, man, you know what you're doing is wrong, but you don't have the strength to let go of it yet. But maybe he would, I don't know. But the things that stuff for me in the positive sense of the word, performances, they're growing, they're getting better, they're getting stronger, they're getting more in tune with these characters, especially Ahsoka and Sabine. This young up and coming actress is really starting to come into her own as Sabine. I mean, it's one thing to chop off half your hair, but it's another to take both pistols and electrify the crowd by shooting at Shin, even though it's probably not going to work, but you're doing it anyway. And then finally you're like, you know what? I'm not going to pull a Clint Eastwood on you. I'm going to pull a Seven Samurai and take out my sword and chop you in half. The action scenes, well done. The light, I mean, the scenery, the visual effects.
It is just insane with the show, with the scenery and the visual effects.
Gorgeous.
Oh my God.
It's insanity. It's like you're watching a $300 million film on a streaming service for $2. It's like, you know what I mean? Because I mean, not that I'm saying Disney Plus costs $2 a month to pay. I'm just saying that
you can help us out. I mean, come on.
I mean, the way they're using their budget, they're using it very well. Let's just put it that way. I'm not saying
I agree.
They're not misusing the budget. They're using it well.
Yes.
Completely agree. As far as I'm concerned, I can't speak for everybody who's worked in film and TV, but yeah, the visuals are great. I think the Master and Apprentice vibe between the two is starting to look really good. And then when she's telling her, look, you gotta, the Force is all around you. You just gotta, you gotta be one with it, and then it'll come to you. And then when you want to take that cup, that little itty bitty 2-inch Dixie cup from the other side of the table, it will come to you. You just gotta, you gotta feel the Force around you. You gotta Yoda that shiznit, I
think it just shows what people take for granted, because for those who are not as Force sensitive
she's
others.
Not. Sabine isn't, but she's trying to learn.
No, but still, I think it's like a nod to the things you can take for granted, because the Force is in everyone. It is there. Yeah. So it's a matter of, as Ahsoka says, talent is a factor. But then at the same time, if the Force is within everyone, how do you even awaken that with or without talent? So it could be something that is easily taken for granted, like breathing. You don't think about it because you've been doing it since the day you were born.
True that. And someone I was talking to said that they kind of think like this take on the Force made like our like top Jedi like Anakin or Luke kind of seem weaker, but to me I feel like it made them stronger, because it's like they have the ability to use that much force in them when these people are struggling to even get out like a little bit.
I mean, and my question to that is, well, why does everyone have to use the Force the same way? I mean, I get it as if you enter into a Jedi temple and you become a Jedi and you train, yeah, there are basics and foundations and the religion of that, but then not everyone should use the Force the same way. That doesn't make sense to me.
Like playing the same character in every video game that's ever been made. I'm just kidding. Does anyone play Mortal Kombat anymore? Did it? By the way, the most recent trailer for this, and I don't play video games anymore. I quit years ago. It was a bad habit. But, well, for some. Did anyone see the trailer for Mortal Kombat 1 with Dave Bautista kind of like leading the charge with all the people around the city saying, it's in our blood? You know, has anyone seen that trailer? I don't think you have.
I feel like I have.
Okay, if you have seen it or if you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time because they're basically paying tribute to the original 92 game, but also like moving it forward with showing you within that trailer, hey, here are the new graphics. Hey, here are the classic characters you remember from 30 plus years ago. And it's still bloody violent. But that's Mortal Kombat. You have to be violent because it's called fatality. Anyway, Yasi has something interesting to point out here. She says, Ray Stevenson's presence is massive. His voice has the positive weight of a Jedi, but his eyes have the rage of a Sith Lord.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, he's working for the bad dudes, so yeah, he's got that presence, yeah. And he's got a bit of a Jedi-ism in him because he's like, hey, you know, I remember Ahsoka. Anakin spoke highly of you. I remember all this stuff because I was one of you.
I think one of the things I enjoy about Balin's character is that even though he's walked away from that lifestyle similar to Ahsoka, especially after Order 66, from what we're given in context, is how he still respects her as a fellow Force user. Like, because I think one of the I think it was episode 2 where he says to Morgan, "It'll be a shame to kill her." Like, he really felt the weight of that. And I just watching this character and the way he holds himself and the way he thinks and processes, it really struck me for him.
Yeah. That's why I really like his character. I like the duality of it. Like, I think he's so interesting. And like Shin is like the actress, that performance is insane. Her stare, her stare is so scary. And I know like a bunch of people are loving her, but for me, like, I just love Balin more as of now, just because of like what we have seen from him and like the Sith Jedi in him.
It's so interesting how he's teetering on that line. He's really on that line. He's not fully Sith, but then he's not fully Jedi. He's literally right in the middle.
Yeah,
I agree, Christy. I love Shien, and this actress who is portraying her is doing so well. When I saw the trailer for Ahsoka, she got my attention right away, along with Rey in the trailer. But yeah, there's something about the way Rey is playing Balin that's just, gosh. Talk about this character forever.
I feel like we already have. No,
I know.
Really I'm never going to get these sentences out about what my positives are in this episode because you guys keep harping on the fact that you have a huge crush on Ray Stevenson. We get it. We get it, ladies. We get it. You know, tall guy. You know, dark. You know, a little bit dark hair. Got the salt and pepper look going on. All right. We get it. I'm just messing with you. You're both wonderful guests, and you're both wonderful people. And if for those of you just joining us, wondering what the heck is going on here, we're discussing spoiler heavy about Ahsoka, the new series that's currently streaming on Disney Plus. Do you have any thoughts about it? Any thoughts about things you may want to see with the series within it moving forward? Some of the things you like about Star Wars, maybe some of the things you don't like about anything and everything at Star Wars is fair game. Drop it in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And I want to thank everyone, not only our panelists for being here, but the people who have been chiming in the chat thus far. And yes, we'll get to your comment in just a moment, but I do want to finish the positives for Pete's sake. So another thing that I like about these last 2 episodes is it seems like when Ahsoka and Sabine are ready to go into action, the droid is the voice of reason. It's like, wait a minute. Like, let's think about this. Like, let me fix this first. Then we can contact, you know, the fleet. We can get in touch with Hera. But then he also says, listen, before you do anything, stick together. You guys work better when you're together.
Yes.
Okay? And David Tennant,
I love David.
Listen, I know this guy's been a huge name ever since he was on that little indie show called Who Something. Doctor Who, whatever it was. I don't know. I never heard of him. But Doctor who is that? I'm just kidding. But his performance as a droid in these episodes, he's like the voice of reason for this whole show, and I'm digging that. It's like, wait a minute, before you do anything nuts. And then he also tells it like it is to Sabine. It's like, Sabine, you're not qualified for any of this, but Ahsoka can train you, and there is a way to do it. Just feel it, just go for it. And the action sequences are great. The lightsaber duels, they're getting more serious, more crazy, more out of insanity. And the other thing that I wouldn't say this is a negative, but it did shock me to a degree, is that, well, actually, you know what? I'll say, I can go into it. So the Ahsoka gets thrown off a mountain cliff.
Yeah.
You know, which you can't kill her because it's only episode 4. You can't kill her. And then Sabine almost got injured, but she didn't quite get injured. And then you think she's going to use the Force, but then she's just pointing her pistol or her dart blaster fireballs, whatever they were.
I thought that was a good fake out, though.
That was. I was like, is she going to use it? Is she going to use it? Is she going to use it? No. She's just pulling missiles out of her wrist.
That was a good strategy. I was like, oh, check you out. There she is.
Like, stop. Don't touch me. She's like, and then Shin's telling it like this, you have no power.
And pop!
I literally started like laughing. I was like, this is so funny.
I just knocked your ass out. You know, or whatever. Excuse my language. I try not to curse on these programs, but I can't help it. The young actress who's playing Shin, she's intriguing to me. We don't really know anything about her. She's a paper-thin character right now, but I'm curious. I hope we learn more about Shin as the series progresses, because this actress is like, okay, we get it. You're evil. You want to destroy everything and rule the world with an iron fist, but who are you really? You know, what's going on behind that, you know, grayish, whitish, Snow White, like white hair outfit? What's going on? Tell me. I want to hear it from you. Anyway, I digress. Never mind. We'll get into it later. But some people here are chiming in. I want to take a moment to acknowledge them. Yasi apparently has 1 million words for us, and she doesn't have enough to say on Clubhouse. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yasi, I'm kidding. She says the show itself deserves to be watched on what is known as a big screen. People don't even bother to move their butts to the couch and watch it on television. Don't waste these beautiful shots on your phone, please.
I completely agree. Absolutely.
I have a 43-inch flat screen. You think I'm going to watch something like this on my phone? No way. You're welcome. Yeah. I support the theater experience. If they re-release these episodes in a theater near my place, I'd probably go.
I think there was something though on social media. I have to fact check myself, if you will. They're actually going to put episode 5 out in some theaters.
Yeah, it's only in like 10 though. It's kind of upsetting.
Yeah. So you heard about it too, Christie?
Yes, they're like doing it in like 10 theaters around the states. I think like 3 in California.
All the AMCs. Do you know how many we have over here?
Literally.
I don't understand.
I like saw the one in Philly and I was like, I don't want to drive an hour and a half to Philly. And then the one in New York was like already sold out. And I was like,
oh, it's already sold out. Dagnab.
Man, you know, it's funny because where I used to live, I was only an hour and a half away from Philly. Wow. We could have all driven there together and seen this, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. And then Yasi says, Shinhari actor Ivana Ahsoka looks like Madison. What is it? Madison Nicole Ziegler, the dancer girl on Sia's video Chandelier. I've said it before. Oh my gosh. Where is this coming from?
I have a question I actually want to pose to the both of you, because I had this thought when I was thinking about Shin's character, since we don't know much about her, unless I'm not remembering something from the first 2 episodes. One of the thoughts I had was, because they both lived through Order 66, if she was Baylan's Padawan from the beginning, or did he find her and took her in as his Padawan after Order 66?
I feel like, okay, I have 2 thoughts. She could either have been like a really young, because Huang said he couldn't find her lightsaber, so she could have made a new one. But my thought is maybe she was like really young where she didn't make her lightsaber yet in the Order and somehow survived, or he just found her.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about that since that moment, because when he goes to Baylan's lightsaber and he talks about he's the only one who's ever made a lightsaber like this, I thought that was an interesting fact of, oh, so they weren't together the whole time? okay.
Could be. You know, it's a possibility here. That's interesting. Man, just give us a book. Anyway, we'll read it tomorrow anyway. I'm in the middle of reading Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, so I'm only 6 chapters in. I'm liking it, by the way.
I love that. I love it.
Don't ruin it for me, but so far I'm digging it because like all these different characters.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm going through all the Legends Thrawn books now.
Yes.
I read Heir to the Empire. Now I'm on Outbound Flight. I'm gonna finish all the other ones. But I'm excited.
I got 6 billion more I got to read just to catch up with Christie. Yasi also says, Ryan, what happened with the character Sabine is what you always say. PTSD is real, but it does have unpredictable consequences. That is very true.
It does. That's another thing I think characters forget, because if you think about it, like if we talk about the scene with Hera and the Senate and the way she's reacting to them, she was a prisoner of war. Thrawn captured her and Thrawn had her. So out of all of the people in that room, she more than anybody knows a lot about Thrawn, and they really should put more weight to her words. I mean, the Ezra angle, I can see what they mean. They have to be careful with their resources, but at the same time, don't knock what Hera says about Thrawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real threat. He can really break you in two, and in that, you know, that voice, that evil, conniving voice, I'm going to ignite a little war. You know, whatever. It's just such a creepy dude.
Excited.
Such a creepy dude. And then Yasi goes on to say, Shin Hati is light Maul. Do you mean light Maul, like a lighter version of Maul, or do you mean like she's like Darth Maul? Is that what you're saying?
I think she means like light, the literal light Maul.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, hey, if Sam Witwer's around and he's watching this, Sam, chime in on this. Let us know. Do you think she's light Maul to you? I don't know, Sam. It's up to you. And then Yasi says, wait a minute. I'm in Philly too. What's happening here? Are the streams crossing? Maybe. I don't know. If you and Christy want to get together and go see this episode next week in Philly, go right ahead. Just DM each other on Instagram, which you can find. Links to follow all three of us located in the description below. Sorry, Christy, your secret's out. People should be supporting your business anyway. T-Star is here. They say Ray Stevenson is legit the best and most interesting character in Ahsoka, and that's about it for characters. It's a shame because his line about losing faith was the peak of interest in episode 4. By the way, hi Jen, says T-Star.
I know who that is. Hey Travis, thank you for joining.
Travis. Hi Travis. Hi Travis, good to see you. Okay, good points. Man, I'm loving this interaction. So, with that being said, we've talked about so many positives, so many character traits, so many character interactions, I should say. But I gotta say, I'm a little curious. Christy, any negatives for you that stand out in these last 2 episodes?
Honestly, like, no. I was gonna say, like, I'm just excited because now I feel like it's actually starting. Like, I was a little worried because I'm a Thrawn super fan. I freaking love that guy. I was scared they're just gonna throw him in the last episode for like 5 minutes, but the fact that like they're now on the way, like I feel like that it's finally picking up. Like if they were like still like trying to get to the other galaxy, I would be like they're taking a little too long for that part. But now like it's starting, so like I'm just excited.
We're so excited. It's basically like the song back in the, I don't know, when was that song out? 70s, 80s, the Pointer Sisters? I don't know. Look it up on Google. Maybe someone else can find that out. Jen, any negatives for you within these last 2 episodes of Ahsoka?
Honestly, no negatives, but to what Christy said, I think the one thing that I was concerned about after watching the first 2 episodes was with all the many different characters and how they were doing the story is if the amount of episodes we're getting in season 1 was enough. Maybe like if they would have done maybe 10 or 12 episodes instead of what are we getting 8 this season, I think. That was my only concern, that there was not going to be enough time to flesh everything out, to do season 1 well in the light that it can be. But then again, it was only the first 2 episodes. I mean, and like I said to Ryan before, one of my rules with any Star Wars show is nothing's a filler until I see the whole show completed. So that was that's my only negative, I think, so far of everything that I've seen is like just wondering, I hope they're going to flesh everything out the way I think it needs to be, because with all the different characters and where the Empire is, where you have these little fractures in the rebellion that we saw, and then now that we have this hyperspace ring that is now operational. So I'm just wondering, and then we get Anakin, and I'm like, wait, that's it. Where's the rest of it?
they like on YouTube, the Star Wars YouTube has like a thing up for the cover of their shorts, and it goes, wait, ready? I'm looking at it right now. Anakin Skywalker returns September 12th. Like, so is he gonna be like really like in the episode? Like, I'm so intrigued. Like, if you go to like Star Wars, like their short on YouTube, that's the cover. Like, he's returning.
Hey, thank the maker. Thank the maker.
I understood that reference.
Thank you.
That's a line that goes all the way back to the 70s. Thank the maker. This oil bath is going to feel so good. I can barely move myself. I can barely move.
It's still a valid statement.
No, it just isn't fair. Oh, Biggs is right. I'm never going to get out of here. Is there anything I might do to help them? No, unless you can time speed up the harvest or transport me off this rock. I don't think so, sir. I'm only a droid and not very functional at certain things. Anyway, we can quote that movie all day long, because how many times have we watched that movie? Millions. Probably millions of times. Anytime it shows up on the little streaming service that's taking all our money, I'm just like, you know what? I'll watch New Hope again, because it's a good movie. It's good. It's really good. And it's a bit lighter than some of the darker things we've seen.
That's the thing, though, in Star Wars, especially with Rebels, even though people say it's a kid's show, but when you really look at it, there's a lot of dark elements. And then
just look at Thrawn.
Look at Thrawn for one.
He is a dark bantha fodder. Like, that guy will destroy everything.
Especially when you read the book.
He's just smart.
He said, my gosh.
I know.
He's just smart.
He's too smart for our own good there, Snips.
He's such a Sherlock.
Yep.
He's such a Sherlock.
Wouldn't that be interesting if Benedict Cumberbatch showed up in Star Wars?
Oh.
If he gave Thrawn a run for his money, that would be nice. I like if Benedict gives Thrawn, hypothetically. I know you're not supposed to cross the streams. Why? It could be bad. I'm a little fuzzy on the whole good-bad thing. What do you mean bad? Talk about everything in your body exploding at the speed of light. Total platonic reversal. Okay, that's bad. All right, thanks, Egon. Anyway, Benedict Cumberbatch, if you show up in the Star Wars universe or galaxy, sorry, we got to distinguish, welcome. I'd be happy to have you, because you got that great, deep, like, voice for anything. You could play any character, honestly.
He's Smaug in Lord of the Rings.
He's done it before. He can do it again, right? He can play a creepy, overlord Sith dude, or maybe he can play a ally to the New Republic. I don't know. Benedict, if your slate is open, you got some time to sit down with us and talk more about Star Wars, feel free to reach out to us at Nerd Culture Channel on YouTube. Anyway, as far as the negatives, I don't know if this is more like a negative. It's more like a nitpick, okay? So in these last two episodes, this is specifically referring to episode 4, which was Fallen Jedi, because, boy, a lot of people fell in this one. She goes over a cliff, and then all of a sudden she ends up in the world between worlds. How did she get there? No one pulled her through the portal. No one gave me a memo saying, hey, Ryan, just remember, when she goes over the cliff, she's actually being teleported like a Power Ranger to the world between worlds. And I'm like, how did she even get there? That doesn't make any sense. But maybe it was the will of the Force that took her to the world between worlds to figure out what the heck is going on, and maybe to help her guide her to where Morgan and her crewmates are going to. And the other thing that bothered me about that was, why, Sabine? Why? Why, Sabine? Why would you do that? Why would you not listen to what your master specifically told you to do? And number 2 is, you were seduced by the dark side of the Force to give them that bloody map. So, Sabine, please don't turn dark. Please don't. Because I feel like she's starting to get seduced to the dark side because Balin is playing on those emotions and roping her in. It's like, look, if you give me this map, we're going to reunite you with your homeboy, Ezra. It's all on you, Sabine. It's your choice. She's like, I can't do it. I can't. But no, you got seduced by the dark side. That's not good. It's not good. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for Coca-Cola. It's not good for Sprite. It's not good for Pepsi. It's not good for me. All right? I don't know why. So those two things bother me. I feel like Sabine is starting to be seduced by dark side. And then 2, How did Ahsoka end up in the world between worlds? Did the will of the Force pull her there, or was it something else? Those are my nitpicks / minor negatives. But also, someone in the chat is being very chatty, Kathy, and they say T-Star says, "Why were they playing Vader's theme when this was supposed to be a redeemed version of Anakin? Vader's theme has always been carefully selected as well as used."
I didn't even notice that. I guess I have to watch the episode again. Darn.
I was so confused. I'm like watching. I'm like, I'm so happy, and it just goes Vader's theme plays, and I was like, huh? I was like, why?
I just think when I heard "Hey Snips" and I heard Hayden's voice, it was like, no, what? I didn't even pay attention, so I'll go back. That's a good point though, because if we are seeing Anakin redeemed, that's actually a very valid question. Why Vader's theme and not Anakin's theme?
Yeah.
Yeah. But those, I mean, for me anyway, those were the two things that bother me, is that Sabine got seduced by the dark side, even though you're not supposed to. You're a rebel, for Pete's sake.
I will say that moment where she was freezing, I kind of went, really?
Should have obeyed your master.
I thought that was a bit odd. So I guess that is another negative for me too. I will agree with you. I thought for Sabine is a bit odd, and darn, I'm gonna have to watch the episode again. Shoot.
Darn it! I was not supposed to watch this more than once.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. You're gonna watch it like 50 times.
Yes, I will.
Christie's probably gonna do the same thing when she leaves the studio tonight.
Of course.
Of course she is. Of course. I mean, we don't call her Snips for no reason. Not only the fact that that's the name of her lovely small business, which, by the way, supports small businesses, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so true. And by the way, for those of you just joining us and wondering if this is Bantha fodder or not, it's not, because we're spoiler-heavy discussing the greatest TV series on the air right now, known as Star Wars Ahsoka. If you have any thoughts about it, positive, negative, somewhere in between, drop it in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know, whether they be Jedi, Sith, or maybe somewhere in between. Don't worry, we have cookies. I don't know. I kind of prefer the Vienna finger cookies myself, but those were my negatives. Now we got to go into this. Where do we think this is going to go? So, Christie, what do you hope to see, or what do you think is going to happen with the Ahsoka series moving forward, Christie?
So we're definitely going to get more Anakin, and I'm wondering if either Anakin's going to help like Ahsoka go to this new galaxy with the world between worlds, which I'm excited to see more of. But at the same time, I want to see the Purgle in action. Like, I want the Purgle to bring Sabine. No, now Sabine's with them, but I want the Purgle to bring Ahsoka. So, like, I'm kind of confused which way they're going to go. And now that they're off, we better see freaking Thrawn and Ezra. Like, I need to see Thrawn. I want to see other Chiss. I want to see who's living in this other galaxy, because I have lots of theories, and I'm just hoping for many things that I feel like won't happen because I love the books. So like, I'm just basing them off Thrawn books, and I don't think I don't think they're gonna do it. But like, I just want to see more Chiss. I want to see, like, who lives in this other galaxy. What were they doing? I will probably at least get to see a little Thrawn. I think we're going to see, like, that one shot and like in one of the trailers where it was like the back of Thrawn. I think we're probably just going to get that, and then like they'll end the episode. But then that means the next episodes he's going to be in it more.
Mm-hmm.
All these pieces. Gotta love the pieces. Let's see here. T-Star actually has a fair point. He goes on to say, Vader's theme plays when it fades to black at the end of this episode. Sabine, another devastating war, more so than one person who she has no proof is alive. Okay. I mean, Balin did say, war is coming, whether you like it or not, but we have to destroy in order to create. So, according to Balin's whack job point of view, I don't think you need to destroy something to create something. Just be nice to each other. Okay? Don't kill each other because you want another flipping war. I mean, Sabine and Ahsoka are speaking from experience because they've all been through war. It's like, we don't want another war. We're not in for that. We're trying to put things back together and piece things back together, even though the New Republic has got a lot of dirty players in that game. Whew! There are still people that are, what is it called, loyal to the Empire, and I'm like,
yeah,
creepy people. Sickening.
I also feel like Thrawn's not going to want to restart the Empire. The man's smart. I don't think he's going to want to join a thing that got taken down by a ragtag group of rebels.
technically, I think he's just going to serve Palpatine until Palpatine doesn't serve him anymore, and then do his own thing, because he's like always 12 steps ahead. So
literally,
you can't imagine him not even thinking about that with the type of being that he is.
Yeah, and they've reconned the books a lot, so I can understand if they don't do it. But the only reason Thrawn joined the Empire was for his people. He wanted more information, and he ended up enjoying it and stayed there longer than he was supposed to. But he is doing it for his own good at the beginning, and I feel like he's too smart to put all his energy back into an empire that fell.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if we go with the books, he's actually one of the few that figures out who Darth Vader is. So there's something else. I'm trying to, Ryan, you said something that I wanted to piggyback off on, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh no. Well, the question on the table. Well, before I try to remember my thought that I can't, because my memory is shot. It's what happens when you get older. You tend to forget things, sadly. When 900 years look as good, you will not. Yeah, I'm pushing 900 here, Yoda. Give me a break. Anyway, the question on the table was, what do you hope to see within this series moving forward, or what do you think is going to happen? So, Christie, I believe you answered that question from your point of view. I mean, everything comes from a certain point of view. Certain point of view. That's another quote from another movie that you can watch. It's called Return of the Jedi. Look that stuff up. The OG trilogy is solid work. Jen, what do you think, or what do you hope to see from Star Wars Ahsoka moving forward?
Oh gosh, that triggered my thought. To your point of how did Ahsoka get there in the world between worlds? I'm hoping that does get explained in episode 5, because the Force does what the Force wants. If that's the Force needing to take her to talk to Anakin to get more perspective on things, thank you. I accept. I think I'm really excited that we're gonna definitely get more Anakin, and we know that because in the trailer, in one of the trailers that came out just before the show premiered, we have a whole line of Anakin talking to Ahsoka. It's just a matter of how does this conversation happen. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm very curious to see what they're going to find and where they're going to find Thrawn, and if we do see Ezra, because the dialogue between Ahsoka and Sabine was, we might not find him, and we might have to not pursue finding him at all. So having that in the air of we may not.
Anything is possible. By the way, T-Star goes on to say that beard of Ray Stevenson's is too intimidating to say no to. Laugh out loud. Look, man, Sabine had one job, and it was to take that pistol, blast the living heck out of that itty-bitty little orb, which, by the way, that orb looks a lot better than the one that was used in the 1984 forgotten film known as Supergirl with Helen Slater. Okay?
So when I first saw the orb, everyone was doing Raiders of the Lost Ark references. My reference was, hey, it's the map to Treasure Planet.
That's the video I saw. I love it. I'm like, somebody literally did a side-by-side whole comparison.
That was
wait a minute.
Hey, Treasure Planet, let's go.
That's one of the few films in my life I've never seen.
It's good. It's good.
Ryan.
It's on the streaming, right? So I can just stream
it.
It
is.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, if I have some time tomorrow, I'll check it out, because I've heard so many wonderful things that it's one of the more criminally underrated animated films that's ever been made.
Yeah.
It really is. And one of the reasons why is because I don't know who made this decision, but they decided to release it in the box office at the same time Harry Potter came out, which is box office suicide.
That's not good. I don't think that's a smart play. They did the same thing back in 2017. You know what they did in 2017? Here's a not so good marketing ploy. Release the remake of Beauty and the Beast, Hugh Jackman's Swan Song and Logan, and the Power Rangers reboot in the same 1 or 2 weekends. That's stupid.
That's a lot.
I want all 3 films to succeed, especially the Power Rangers reboot, because we haven't seen a Power Rangers movie since '97, okay? And the fact that you sandwich that between a Beauty and the Beast remake that nobody asked for, but they did it anyway. And then you do a swan song for Hugh Jackman and Logan, which deserved a lot more Oscars than what it got, by the way. And my Power Rangers movie gets destroyed because of that? That's wrong.
I really love the Power Rangers remake. That was such a brilliant remake.
See?
It was brilliant.
Oh, finally, someone who speaks English. Is that what just happened? That man is playing Galaga. Probably wouldn't notice, but we did. Anyway, I can't let the pop culture references. But yeah, that's not a good marketing ploy, guys. Do better when you release movies separately and not sandwich them together. Okay? It's called Movie Marketing 101. If you need more help, feel free to give me a call. T-Star goes on to say, a positive for me in this episode is finally an X-Wing pilot finally calls Locust falls in attack position, a call that live-action Disney Star Wars has failed to have since owning it.
That was a good scene. Like seeing the X-Wings and the actor who in that scene named Paul. I was in another room on Clubhouse. They actually got him to come on to have a conversation about The Mandalorian, and I had the opportunity to ask him a few questions. And he's a really great guy. Such a fun conversation. He loves to cosplay Ghostbusters. That's his go-to when he cosplays. Paul's really cool.
Really?
That's awesome.
He likes to cosplay as a Ghostbuster. You know what? That's a big Twinkie. That's a really big Twinkie. Yasi goes on to say, you can't dismiss Rebels because it is an animation show, and animation, even when it is, solely aimed for kids, can touch very deep topics. In fact, it is more precious when kids are taken seriously. That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Travis has something else to chime in here. He says, did you catch the Raiders of the Lost Ark reference in episode 4? A clue, Tote and Marion's bar? No, I didn't catch that.
Neither did I.
I didn't catch that. Did you catch that, Christy?
Nope.
Have you ever seen that little indie film called Raiders of the Lost Ark?
I have, but it's been a while.
Ugh, okay.
I know.
You have to refresh thy memory. First, you need to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then you can skip Doom because Temple of Doom is garbage. Watch Last Crusade, and you're good. Watch those 2 indie films, Indiana Jones, for those of you keeping score at home, and you're good. I can't speak for the new one because I haven't seen Dial of Destiny. I can't comment on it. But 1 and 3 are the best. Temple of Doom can take a hike. Kingdom of Alien Skulls can take a hike. But watch Raiders, watch Last Crusade. You're going to like the way you look after watching those movies, Christy. We guarantee it. You're welcome. No, but I didn't catch that reference to Raiders.
I guess we have to watch it again.
I don't know. I guess Jen, myself, maybe all 3 of us can sit down and maybe watch it together virtually. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to sit down and do that. That'd be fun, right? We can do that.
Yes. I'll do it.
We have ways of doing it. I mean, we've done anniversary watch-alongs for movies here at Nerd Culture Channel, but maybe if you guys want us to do an episode watch-along of an episode of a Star Wars series, maybe another animated series, maybe a live-action show, something like that, let us know your thoughts about that in the comments. I'd be curious to hear your ideas because we're always happy to hear from you and for you to give us feedback. And if you want to see us do something revolving around the galaxy far, far away, because we kind of like it a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed this or not. Let us know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts because I think Christy, Jen, myself, we're willing to sit down and discuss this a little bit more, maybe watch a little bit more. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I think Jen said yes. I think Christy's up for it. I don't know. You're up for it, right? I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a yes. Okay, great. We're all teams here. Locust falls in attack position. Anyway, red leader standing by. Huang, what is it? Huang was a bit Power Rangers during the fight.
I will say I had moments where I was on pins and he was like, no, don't hurt him. Then he goes, ha! I was like, oh, he's okay.
It's funny.
That was actually a really cool moment. We love you, David.
That's it. Yasi said that. Let's see here. T-Star goes on to say the map burns on Ahsoka's hand. Yeah, it does burn. It did burn in her hand.
Like,
is that because it was covered with witchy voodoo? Is that it? Is that why it burned in her hand?
Probably.
Yeah.
Is that why it burned her? Was it her left hand or her right? No, it was her right. It was her left hand. It was her left hand that got burned. T-Star goes on to say Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is better than the Last Crusade. Wrong, sir. Wrong. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. You're wrong. You are dead wrong about Temple of Doom being better than Crusade. You are dead wrong, Travis. Dead wrong. Anyway, enough about that. It's not about playing who's favored and who's not. It doesn't matter. For me, what I hope to see with the Star Wars Ahsoka moving forward, looking forward to seeing how Ahsoka gets to finding the map and finding out where the crew is, because the map's been, the orb has been completely destroyed because Balin did what Sabine should have done, takes his lightsaber like a candlestick and just burn that sucker.
And the moment of regret in her face when she sees that.
Yep.
The moment of regret you just knew reality sunk in, like, I just messed up.
Yep.
Such a good scene.
He just stuck that thing in the map and he's like, no one's going to follow us now. And I'm like, Balin, you punk. You stupid punk. Anyway, so what I hope to see is, I hope to see Sabine not go to the dark side and work for the bad guys. That's number one. Number two, I hope she gets rescued, because at the end of the episode, she's still a prisoner. She's in cuffs. So that's a bit of a problem.
I don't think she will, because when she sees how they basically go through the rebels and she knows it's Hera, and she considers, even though she loves Ezra as a brother, she still has the feeling of Hera as her family. So the fact that she saw what they did to her family and her reaction to it, I don't know if she will turn to the dark side. I
don't think so.
Just because she saw that. And when I think about it, if I were in her shoes and made the same choice, I probably would have had that same reaction. Like, they just tried to kill my family. And having that sit in me. And then another moment that I know we talked about before, but then when you hear Anakin say, hey, Snips, and the way Rosario portrays that jump moment, that just tugged my heartstring.
I know, Ryan, you were saying this earlier, but I felt like the past couple episodes, like especially like Rosario, like she's finally getting like comfortable in the role. Like the first episode, I felt like something was just off for me personally with her, and I loved her in like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. Like just something was off the first episode, and it like I was like, huh? But like they're just so much more comfortable, and I was like, OMG, like it's happening. And I loved the way she like acted in that scene.
Oh man, Christy, did you cry? Because I cried.
There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
That
Why don't you leave her
little
alone, Jimmy?
teary-eyed.
Oh, you sip it, Doris.
Woo! That was a lot of emotion for me. I was not.
Yes.
I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
gosh.
I'm just kidding. There is crying in Star Wars. Everybody cries. It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with
If
it.
you see something that you enjoy, you're allowed to cry. If you see something that makes you upset, you're allowed to cry. When I saw Sabine get captured by the bad dudes and she's handcuffed at the end of the episode, I didn't cry, but I was like, dude, this isn't good. Like we got to get her out of there. We got to get her out of this fortress. We have got to get her out. We got to pull a predator.
I think she's gonna get out.
Do it. You know, we start. I got so many references on the brain. Travis says that's the Raiders reference when Ahsoka's hand gets burned because Toad's hand gets burned in Raiders.
Oh, okay.
And then when Balin puts the saber through the orb, like that's him kind of like taking the poker to Marion's face, like about to burn her face off. So I'm like, oh, okay, got it. There you go. That's the Raiders of the Lost Ark reference, Christy. That's what she was getting at. Okay, you're welcome. See, there's your homework for tonight. When you're done with your meeting with your friends after this show, go back and watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. You're gonna thank us.
Will do.
You know, because anyway. So yeah, hope she gets rescued. Hope Ahsoka finds a way to get to the Netherrealm, wherever galaxy they're going to find the supposed live and living well body of Thrawn and even Ezra, if he's still alive. I don't know. Looking forward to getting those answers because there's no map. Ahsoka's in a world between worlds. Not sure how she's going to get out of that quite yet. I mean, she has gotten out of it before within the animated series that the three of us here watched as Rebels. But I'm curious to see how it's going to unfold in this capacity now that it's live action. We're seeing the blues and the hues and the gates and the rings. It's like Stargate. So how are we going to get out of this? So and by the way they ended this episode bothered me. It's like, that's it? That's it? I was about to say, hey, Snips, didn't expect to see you here so soon. Anakin. Boom, cut the credits. I'm like, what? No.
Oh my gosh.
That is not That's not fair. I want to see this interaction. I want
Oh.
to see what we're going to get here. Are we getting a Anakin that's going to help Ahsoka, or is he going to try to like throw her to the wolves like Palpatine tried to do in at the end of Rebels between her and Ezra? Like what's going on here? But he did say snips, so maybe there's a ray of positivity there that he's going to help her, not kill her, or try to kill her anyway.
I think he's gonna help her because with the line we get in
Yeah.
trailers where Anakin's talking to her,
Yeah.
it's
like-
it was very positive. So
Yeah.
Redeemed at this point.
yeah, but no, I completely agree. The way they cliffhangered it, the way they did, oh my gosh,
It's crazy.
ah,
Wow. I'm
So
telling
sad.
you, we got more
I need
questions. Our only hope, see, there's another reference there for you. Our only hope is we get answers. Please. We only have 4 episodes left. Can you believe we're already halfway through this thing?
that's what
8
I said
episodes.
before. Do we have enough?
8 episodes
I know.
is a very small window to tell a complete story. But then again,
So
it is
sad.
Dave Filoni, and he has surprised us before. Look at Mandalorian and how season 2 ended with a certain Jedi's return. We didn't see that one coming. Didn't see that
Wow.
one coming.
That was
But
another
it
one.
happened. You know how long people have waited to see 1984 Luke Skywalker? They've
In
waited
his
almost
prime.
40 years for that.
In his prime, I cried at that moment too. I was like, oh my god,
It's Luke. Like he showed up. He's back. He's not just, grizzled and,
yeah. I'll never forget that when she says just one X-wing and you see it on the camera, and I said to myself, is that a R2 unit on that X-wing?
as soon as
No,
the black cloak
you're
and
not
the
doing
green
this
lightsaber
right
showed
now.
up, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then you see the black glove show up.
Oh no, this was me. I was like, give me a green lightsaber. Then you see the green lightsaber. I was like, okay, give me the glove. Then they give you the glove. I was like, I want the belt buckle. I was
Oh
not-
my gosh, look at the people in the chat. They're loving this. Travis says, why are Luke and Leia not intervening into any of this storyline-wise? Fallen Jedi, threats of Thrawn returning, Sith Inquisitors, a possible Second Imperial War. The show should have addressed and simply will not or forgot about those characters.
Well, it's like I said before. I'm wondering if we have enough episodes for season 1, and we're in the middle of a strike right now, both for writers and actors. And one of the concerns I have is, even though we didn't have a strike at the time, is the amount of time for the ending of season 2 of Mandalorian with Luke, and then when we got season 3, how much time that happened. And now we have these 2 strikes going on. It makes me wonder what's going to happen with the in-between and how they end season 1 and what the plans were for season 2 and how to pick up and carry on after that. So it's another I'm forgetting the phrase, but it's
Unanswered questions.
Yeah.
It's a mystery is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worse than a Scooby-Doo mystery on Halloween night. I'm sorry, that's another pop culture reference. Does anyone remember Scooby-Doo? I do. Christy, have you seen any? Okay, all right. I'm just making sure. Sorry, I don't mean to keep asking you these questions. But
No,
it's like,
of course.
I love it. You're the Padawan learner to the Master Jedis that are Ryan and Jen. So we're just trying to help you.
I love it. I am gonna have to leave though.
Okay, all right.
This has been so much fun.
There's
I
so much
loved
more
it.
to dive into. But Christy, I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you for being
Thank
with
you.
us. Before Jen and I give our final thoughts, Christy, final thoughts on anything Star Wars. And the second thing is, where can the good people of the interwebs follow you on social media and everything that you have coming up? The stage is yours.
Ahsoka has been awesome. I'm so excited for what to see. And you can find me and my small business at Snips & Co. on Instagram and Snips & Co. on Etsy. And then I also have a book account where I read Star Wars books. Then that is Admiral Reads and Book Ascendancy, which is my podcast.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It has been great to meet
Thank
you and have you.
you.
And fear not, for those of you watching or listening, Christy will be back on the next episode of Ahsoka's Weekly Mission. Christy,
Yay.
take care of yourself. And as always, may the Force be with you.
And with you guys. Bye.
Bye, Christy.
Have a good one, Christy. Thanks for being with us. We do appreciate it. She is such a great young Padawan learner.
Love her.
I'm telling you, we're going to teach her the ways of the Force, and she's going to become a great, great Jedi. I can just see it. I can see it. I can feel it in my bones, Jen. I can feel it. Travis has more to say, and this is why, Travis, you're an interesting character. He says, part 2, it's the why aren't the Avengers not getting involved in situations like Secret Invasion? Okay. Maybe that's what the next episode is going to be about. I don't know.
We're only 4 episodes in,
and we got 4 left. So they better they better give us a lot in these last 4, which I'm sure it's Dave Filoni. So
yeah.
When there's a will, there's a way. And then Dave Mattingly's here with us. Dave Mattingly says, "Howdy, Ryan. You didn't tell me you had such gorgeous friends."
Oh, kind of you, sir. Thank you.
Dave Mattingly is one of our biggest fans here at Neuroculture Channel. We thank you, Dave, for being with us. And he also goes on to say, "Oh, yes, because every Star Wars must be about the Skywalker family, ... No, it doesn't. I'm kind of over the whole Skywalker thing. You know, Travis was just asking, well, why aren't Luke and Leia intervening on this? Well, it's because they're saving themselves for Force Awakens comes out in 30 years.
Well, it could also be where we're at in the timeline and, you know, where Luke is right now, depending if we're going to go with book canon or movie canon or a blending of both, you know, it has to do with the timeline and where other people are at. Luke technically trains Leia right now, so we don't know if that's even happening. So there's a lot of components to it. And I think at this point with Star Wars, I mean, we started with the Skywalkers. I'm not against having the Skywalkers pop up when needed, as long as it's done in a way that makes sense, because we started with them, and because of where we're at in the timeline, they are still around. There are things happening with them. It's not like we've completely jumped to a time where they're no longer with us. We're not there yet. So it makes sense that they will pop up at some point. How? We can't say.
I mean, for those of you maybe wondering within the timeline, this series is set 5 years and change after the events of Return of the Jedi, and it's 25 or so years before the events of Force Awakens. So, you know, there's a lot of ground to cover, but there's also a lot of ground you can play with.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and if the Skywalkers show up, great. If they don't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, because I would rather see, you know, them figure out what they're doing with these Rebels characters, but also introduce new ones, because I'm all for new stories with new characters. I'm all for it. You know, new actors, new people getting a chance to do something they've never done before in their respective careers, and also giving younger talent a chance to gain the spotlight, because that's one of the things I kind of miss in these. Well, I mean, we're getting it now with Sabine being played by a new actress. You get Shin being played by a new actress. You get some other young up-and-coming actors I think are going to be showcased within this series, if not other stuff moving forward. Once hopefully the strike, you know,
we have young Jason.
We got what now?
Young Jason.
Yeah, we do have young Jason. Yep, we get him. You get this young actor playing the holographic version of Ezra. Maybe Ezra's still alive. I don't know. He could be. You know, we'll see about that. And then Dave Mattingly goes on to say, "Zoinks!" That's a Scooby-Doo reference for anyone.
Shaggy.
I know, right? Such a character. And then Dave Mattingly goes on to say, "I've had a lifetime supply of Skywalkers. I was thrilled to see Carson's cameo."
Oh man, yeah. That was a good cameo. I was so thrilled when I saw Carson. Oh my gosh.
And who's Carson again?
Why did I just blank?
Who's Carson? Dave Mattingly, let us know. Who's Carson again? The character or the actor? Who is that?
I'm sorry.
I wish I knew who that was. But, you know, hey, the bottom line is Star Wars is alive and well. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. And we wish the best of luck with everybody who's going through difficult times with the SAG and the WGA strikes. We hope they get resolved in a good, fair, impartial manner. We hope all parties are satisfied and they can get back to work, and let actors and writers get paid what they're due, and they can get on with their lives and live a good life and just enjoy the things that they love to do the most, which is entertaining people. So the Force is strong with this series. I think the Force is going to be strong with it moving forward. And then Dave Mattingly clarifies that Carson is the X-Wing pilot. He was also in Mandalorian.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, there it was. Okay, thank you for clarifying, because I did recognize him in the episode, but he's growing like this really big, thick Santa Claus beard now. Oh my gosh, he's got the salt and pepper coming in there. You know, because in the last episode, wasn't he like almost completely shaved, or like had a bit of stubble there? I don't know. He's growing it out. It's a facial hair thing that happens sometimes. But listen, this has been a great, and I do mean great, episode of Ahsoka's Weekly Mission. We hope you who are watching or listening to this have enjoyed this. Jen, Christie, both of you, thank you both for being here. We cannot have done this without you. Jen, this has been a blast. I hope you will come back again sometime and join us and discuss this a bit further, because I have a feeling you're a Star Wars fan. So with that being said, Jen, where can the people of the interwebs follow you on social media and keep up with all the great things you have coming up? What do you got?
I would love to come back. I would love Star Wars. I could talk about this literally all night. I am at Jen Erminia Gadowski. That is my Instagram handle. I also have a podcast called Rocking Your Bald. You can find that on Instagram and coming soon to YouTube. I talk all things alopecia plus other things. And I run a Star Wars fan clubhouse on the app Clubhouse, where we have weekly conversations. We're talking Ahsoka over there too. We also do book clubs and other character deep dives conversations. So you should check us out.
Wonderful, wonderful stuff. We thank you for being with us. My name is Ryan of Nerdculture. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5. Check us out on all forms of social media. All those links are where you can follow myself as well as Jen and Christie, also known as Hey Snips. How you doing? You can follow those wonderful people in the description below. They are located within the description of this video, so check them out, follow them on social media, keep up to date with everything they're doing. Check us out on all the incredible things we got coming up. Ahsoka's weekly mission is from now on going to be on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have Christy back. Jen is going to be coming back very, very soon. If not, who knows? Maybe she'll pop in next week and we won't even know it. It's the will of the Force. But you never know, because it may be the will of the Force. But this has been great. If you have any thoughts about this series, if you have any thoughts about anything Star Wars, and you're just joining us on the replay or the live version, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Be more than happy to hear from you. Tune in on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. EST for Ahsoka's weekly mission. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that notification bell so you get notified when our videos go live. We have so many wonderful things planned for you. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to throw a great big live stream with returning guests, surprise guests, and some special giveaways for you, our incredible fans / subscribers. So tell your friends about us, because they're going to tell their friends, and so on and so on and so on. You know how these things go. It's the will of the Force. And remember, the Force will be with you always. Take a look.
There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on. When you find people who need your help, you help them. No matter what.
Good luck. We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might wanna buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of us, little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
Force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.